Hey there friends, how's it going today? So I have a little Q&A video for you as we kick off the fine month of August here. So I'm going to answer a bunch of questions that came in over on the Song Notes community forum. Thanks to all of you who asked these, who are supporting me through membership over on my Song Notes website. I really hope you find the lessons helpful and continue to make all the best progress with your guitar playing. But let's look at these. Jump ahead if you know the question you want to see answered, but here's the ones I'm going to go through today. And if you want to join the community, songnotes.net, click on that join button and there is a community forum. It's a great place to ask questions, share your progress, join the discussion with other like-minded music folks. So let's get into it. All right, so here's a question that came in from Cody. This is a great one. So Cody, you say, confession, I've been using my time as a solo driver to practice counting beats and measures to songs on the radio. That is a great thing to do. It's going to be super helpful for you. It's going to sort of give your ear and your mind, reps that are just going to pay off as you pick up the guitar later. So that's great to hear, Cody. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, which is totally fine. I just watched Tennessee Whiskey video, and the song has 6 beats in each measure, 6/8 time. That's correct. Your nomenclature is all good. How does one diagnose that on the fly? And how do you know what's what? At the end of the day, isn't it all just scalable? Can a 4-beat measure be imposed on a 6-beat song by using even smaller timestamps? To answer these questions backwards, Cody, I think you're onto something really good here. At the end of the day, isn't it just scalable? Can't you just take a 4-beat measure and impose it on a 6-beat song? I think you can do that, right? And a video that I recommend checking out, I'll put this in the comments, is Adam Neely here. He's an awesome YouTuber, comes to music and performing and theory and understanding the business of things. He puts out some super astute videos. In this one, he talks about a topic about the time signature of this theme song, but at one point in the video, he makes a point that you could slice anything in a certain way to kind of change the time signature, but it still sounds the same. I'm totally butchering that.
Time signatures are not real. We made them up. They're something that we invented to understand our relationship to pulse. Like, does this thing feel like it's on the beat or off the beat? But beyond that, it's just a convenience that we use when we're playing with other musicians or when we're interacting with a digital audio workstation.
But yeah, effectively what you're saying here, Cody, is it is all scalable, arguably, but there are some practical things we can latch onto. And I would say either this, and this is really simple terms. In Western pop, rock, country stuff, usually things either have 4 beats or 3 beats per measure, right? And when I say 3, you can just double that and you get 6, right? But there's a different pulse and feel between something that's in 6 or 3 versus something that's in 4. And it has to do with basically if you were to count like Tennessee Whiskey, if you counted just the beats, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, Tennessee Whiskey. I mean, it's literally, you can break it into 3 chunks of 3 beats, where the first beat is the strong beat, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? Now you could put that in 6/8 time, which is how I do it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At the end of the day, it's still breaking things into chunks of 3. The only time that I would say it's more helpful to say something is 6/8 time versus 3/4 time is if in Tennessee Whiskey, well, that might actually be the best example, but lots of songs, the chord changes every 6 beats. Wise Men Say, the Elvis song, right? Why? I can't help falling in love. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. That's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. In that case, most of the chord changes are happening every 6 beats, so it kind of makes sense. It's just easier to communicate if we say it's in 6/8 time, and the unspoken kind of rule, in my opinion, with 6/8 time is the 1 and the 4 count get the pulses, right? So, and you could just do 2 strums, right? Wise men say. So it's just 2 strums per measure. Even fools. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's how I would say you diagnose it, is if you look at the strong beats, right? And then after that, how all the remaining beats, how many are you going to group together before the next strong beat approaches? How do you know what's what? Again, just go by, listen for that strong beat, and then listen to the rest of the beats that happen before the next strong beat, and just see if you can break it into either, it's usually either going to be 4 chunks or 3 chunks, right? Or in a song like Tennessee Whiskey or Can't Help Falling in Love, it's just 2 chunks of 3, which equals 6. But notice that 3 and 6 are not divisible by 4, right? Those are kind of, they retain their uniqueness. The one thing I want to say, which is interesting on this topic, is the Star Spangled Banner. You hear it at sporting games here in the USA, and it's in 3/4 time, right? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Strong beat, beat, strong beat, beat, strong beat, 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 beat. That ending of the line is weird. La da 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. See how that 1 is a super obviously strong beat, right? But here's a cool thing about that song. Okay, so back when Whitney Houston sang the Star Spangled Banner, she changed it to 4/4 time. Oh, say, can you see? Right? She adds an extra beat in there. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. What makes it stand out versus the usual performances is she's changing the time signature. I've heard other artists do that. I think Jewel recently did it at the All-Star game, I believe, and she did the same thing, right?
Early light, what so proudly we hailed.
Okay, so Cody, I hope that's helpful for you. Try counting it out loud and pay attention to the strong beat. It's usually on the 1 count of each measure. And if it's in 6/8 time, it will be on the 1 and the 4 counts, which again, you can just think of as 2 measures of 3/4 time in a row, at least in practical terms. Okay, so Rick, you write in asking about walk-ups and walk-downs, and you're saying why the complicated D to G walk-down that's shown in Sunday Morning Coming Down. So that's the Chris Christopherson song. I taught the Johnny Cash kind of version of it. So there's a walk-down in that song, right? Okay, what I'm doing there is going from a D down to a G. And I'm doing it by walking down like that. That's what I teach in that lesson for Sunday Morning Coming Down. Here's actually the tab for it, okay? I'll talk about this zoomed in a second. But Rick is asking about why do we do what I just did, which is more complicated, compared to this one, right? Let me show you this one, y'all. So this is in my lesson 354. I show you 5 different major keys, and I show the most common walk-ups and walk-downs in each key. So if we go to the key of G here, let's see, here it is right here. Okay, this sort of thing down here. If I play it, and I'm going to walk down from D to G here. Okay, that walk down. So, G is our home bass in this case. We're in the key of G, which means it's our sort of safe, sturdy home bass chord where everything resolves and sounds peaceful. So when we're on a D kind of is the dominant chord. If we get music theory about it, the dominant chord has the strongest pull, especially if it's a D7 or a dominant 7th chord, has a really strong pull back to the 1 chord, and it sounds all good and resolved. So what we can do when we're going from D to G in this case is just walk down the G major scale, right? From D to C to B to A to G. And all I did there is I walked down. These are the notes in the G major scale. D to C to B to A to G. We're just walking down from 5 to 1. That gives us that satisfying resolution there, right? I could strum a G. Right, and then do the walk down. Now, why don't we use this in Sunday Morning Coming Down, right? Why doesn't Johnny Cash use that? So, pay attention to how I strum this, okay? That's where the walk down is going to happen. I fumbled in my closet through my clothes and found my cleanest dirty shirt. That's a quick walk down. Then I washed my face and combed my hair and stumbled down the stairs to meet the day. I'd smoked my mind. So again, this song stays on chords for a while. It's kind of just you're wallowing in that hell of a hungover Sunday, right? And I think that sort of slow, leisurely walk down matches the sort of pace about what he's singing about, right? He's not caffeinated and buzzing and feeling full of life. He's like dragged and spread thin and wearing his cleanest dirty shirt and all that stuff. So that's why, in this case, Johnny Cash is using a long, drawn-out walk down with those strums in between. And on this second, third, fourth page, where is it? Right here, on D to G. The walk down riff is tabbed out for you. I also have the walk down. This is a quick walk down from G to E minor. Okay, in that case, we want a quicker walk down. But look, I tab it out, showing you a longer walk down you could do too. Okay, that's a longer one, but a shorter one would be this. Okay? And you could do the same thing with the D and the G. You could do the longer version shown here with the strumming, or just do the D to D to D to D to D. Okay? So, otherwise, I got a bunch of other stuff. Strumming with alternating bass notes in here, and the chord progression's all mapped out. This is where the walk down happens, right? See, it's over 2 measures, whereas this walk down's over 1 measure. So, great question, Rick. I hope this is helpful for you. Let me know if you have any other questions as well. And with walk downs and walk ups in general, look for the key you're in, and then just use the notes in that scale. It's usually that simple. But I talk about that in lesson 354, which is what you referenced, Rick. So I hope this is helpful for you. All right, we have another question here. This one's coming in from Dan. Dan, you're asking about Country Honk. So if any of you missed my lesson on Country Honk, the Rolling Stones song, it is basically the exact same song as Honky Tonk Women. The only difference is it's played acoustic. And some of the guitar arrangement is different, but the chords are the same. The verses, the lyrics, they're all the exact same as Honky Tonk Woman. Now, Honky Tonk Woman is in, I believe it's in open G. I don't have a lesson for that yet. Justin Sanderco is a really good one. But Country Honk, so that's what Dan is asking about here. So you enjoyed the lesson? Awesome. I'm glad, Dan. I'm wondering if you could expand on it with the walking bass line intro to the song. So Dan, I think, and I asked you this, but I think what you're talking about is if you put on Keith Richards' version and you hear this thing over the G and C chords, okay? And I've actually started to write up my song sheet for this. Okay, this is in progress. It's not finished yet, but right here, check this out, right? See the highlighted notes on the G and the C? What those represent are this thing that Keith Richards is doing, where when he's playing the G and C, he's not just sort of strumming it, you know. That's not really Keith Richards' style, it seems. Instead, what he's doing is he's using the 5th string on the G, right? And then for the C, he's using the 4th string. Then it repeats, right? Hear it? Such a good song. I could get lost in that one too. Now, what I have on screen here is a simple way to do what he just did. Where you take your G and only worry about the thickest 4 strings. Okay? Maybe the thickest 3 strings, maybe the thickest 5 strings. My point is, don't feel like you have to do the Kumbaya full 6-string G. Instead, get comfortable with those thickest 3 or 4 strings. Now, with that said, the melody, the bass line melody here is happening again on the G. This is what we're looking at right here, okay? Can you see my mouse? Yeah. On strings, on the A string, right? Open, second, third, second, open, second. And then you repeat that again. Then you go to the C and you do the same pattern with the same relative fingers. Then back to the G. Whoops. So I hope that was helpful for you, Dan. So basically, on the G and the C, make sure you use your left ring finger on the thickest string of each, okay? For the G especially. You don't want to be doing G like this and then C like that. It's going to be really tricky. One cool lesson I recommend here, let me turn back on my screen, is if you go to songnotes.net and you search for G chord. Yeah, this is it. G chord finger position guide. Forgive my semi-clickbaity thumbnail there. But the main idea is, let me pull up the PDF, is that when you're playing G, you can either use your ring finger on the thickest string, or you can use your middle finger. See the difference? This is middle, this is ring. And it all has to do with the other chords you're playing. For example, if you're playing C, which is what we're doing in country honk, you want to use your left ring finger and middle on the thickest two of each chord, okay? And that works well with a D7. But if you're going to be playing things like C add 9, you want to use your left middle and your left index because it stays consistent on the C add 9. So this is lesson 335 if you're interested in checking that out. But Dan, I hope this is helpful for what you asked. And yeah, let me know. All right, and hopefully I'll return to this song at some point. It would be good to sort of polish it up and do a full lesson. All right, here's a question from Dupree about LA Freeway. This is a Guy Clark song. It's lesson 101. It's an amazing song, one of my favorites. So Dupree, you say, really enjoying my finger picking lessons, can't express how valuable and appreciative you are. You're very welcome, Dupree. I'm so glad they're helpful. So LA Freeway, I'm progressing nicely in the intro and verse, but I'm having trouble with the chorus. Any chance you can expand on your song sheet to include more details about this section? Or is it just strumming the chords per the listed patterns? Yeah, it is. It's in my song sheet. So I'm going to pull up my song sheet here and just show you all. So this is page 1 of the song sheet. Again, this has the intro tab, and then it has the lyrics with the chords. So the main idea with this chorus, just big picture, is if you know the tune of the song, you could just get started with a single strum. That's what I recommend to sort of get comfortable with anything, right? So the chorus starts with a G, then a D7. If I can just get off of this LA freeway with G, getting killed, or C, and then to G, road in a cloud of smoke for some D. It ain't bought if I can. Okay, that's the quick casual playthrough. But let me talk about how to approach this. So if you go in my song sheet down to page 2, right? I always will include the chord progressions for my songs, and the idea there is to tell you exactly how many measures to be on each chord. So you're going to see pre-chorus and chorus here. The pre-chorus is really just, it's a 2-measure sequence with no singing, right? So the verse ends and it's a G, then a D7. We don't need that on right now. G, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3. Then chorus C, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now the strumming I was doing there was just a down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and generic strum pattern. I don't know if that's what is. I believe it's different than what I teach in this song. Now for this song, for the chorus, I recommend this pattern. Right, this is what I wrote down when I made this song sheet. It's going to be a down, 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 up, down, up, 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 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so the reason that 3 count has the uppercase D and the 1 and the 2, all the other down strums are written lowercase, is I'm trying to convey the fact that not all down strums or even up strums necessarily are always going to be the same volume. Sometimes you want a light and brushy strum, right? Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. But you want like a driving or an accented beat on other counts. So here, all this is saying to you is do on the 3 count. That's your heaviest down strum. And really, I recommend putting your body into it. You want to feel it, right? Music is a full body rhythm. Like try to incorporate that. If you're just doing your hand, it's going to be hard to relate to it, right? Whereas if your body, right, your head, your neck, your shoulders, like feel that swell, right? 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and I know it might look ridiculous, but I think it will literally help. So the idea is to basically get comfortable with this pattern. Start off by just muting all the strings and doing the pattern over and over again, right? You could put the song on, put the chorus on, and just do this. Literally, the muted strums over Guy Clark's version, right? But then from there, take this pattern and then just go through this sequence of chords. So if I did that one time, let me start in the pre-chorus, right? G, D7, okay, chorus, C, D, G, C, G, G again, and D. Okay? Now let me sing it there for context. I'll pull up page 1 right here. Okay, so again, we'll start on that G and D7 as the pre-chorus effectively. If I can just get off of that LA freeway without getting killed or caught, I'd be down that road in a cloud of smoke for some land that I ain't bought, and it's... Okay, so that's how you do it there. Now, you could use your own strumming pattern. If you'd rather use a down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, I'd be down that road in a cloud of smoke for some land I ain't bought in a... Okay, you totally can do that. Strumming patterns in general, as I write them up, are suggestions, right? Lots of times I'm taking what the artist is doing, unless they're doing something weird or something you can't hear or something that's just very difficult. Then I'll sort of offer up, my own personal preferred versions there. But that's how you do it. Now, there is one other thing, Dupree, I want to call out, is if you listen to Guy Clark's version, there's one chord where the change is happening a bit earlier. It's this C. So it's going to sound like, if I can just get off of this LA freeway without getting killed or caught. Okay, what's happening there is he's switching to that C on the up strum just before the 1 count. Normally, you would switch to all these chords on the 1 count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but without getting killed or caught. He's doing it on the and count just before the 1, just after the 4, right? Without getting killed or caught. So it's a bit of a pushed chord change there. This is a bit advanced, right? I recommend doing everything I taught you so far. Get comfortable with that. But if you can get to that C, switch to it on the up strum just before the 1 count, and then on that caught kind of chord, he kind of abandons the strumming pattern and he kind of just opts for a slow swell of down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then he returns to it on the third line. Okay, so let me play the chorus one more time. I'm actually going to use the down, 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 up, down, 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 up. I like this strumming pattern right now. So if I can just get off of this LA freeway without getting killed or caught, I'd be down that road in a cloud of smoke for some land I ain't bought, and I could just get off of this LA freeway without getting killed or caught. I'd be down the road in a cloud of smoke for some land I ain't bought, and here's to you, old skinny Dennis, the only one I think I will miss. What a great song. I could just get lost in this one. So, Dupree, that's going to be the answer to your question there. I hope this is helpful. This is all in my song sheet. Again, page 2. This is the chord progression. I used to do this in the old days, the old days for me. And these song sheets, whenever I have the dots, that just means it represents the beats, right? So these are all, this is 4 counts. This is 4 counts. This is 4 counts, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So the dot represents a beat. So basically, you're going to be on every chord that's listed for 1 measure each, and then use the strumming pattern that I just showed you, or you can use the one I've written down here. But again, I kind of just now showed you that down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and super similar to what I have here. Actually, that's what I'm doing for the verse. Okay, down, 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 up. So bring your own strumming pattern, follow that progression, and you'll be in good shape, Dupree. I hope that was helpful for you. All right. All right, so that's going to do it for this lesson here, this Q&A video. Thanks to all of you who have watched this far. Again, thanks to all of you who are supporting me with membership. If you'd like to watch more of my lessons, just browse my YouTube channel here or head on over to songnotes.net. You can browse them all there. And if you're a member over there, of course, you can access the community forum and post your questions, post videos, all kinds of cool stuff. And I sort of do my best to prioritize those questions from the members of the Song Notes community. But I'll see you on the next one. Let's have a great month of guitar playing ahead. And until then, my friends, take care and bye-bye.